say? What you say? Oh, that you only meant well, 'cause you...
What the fuck is up, gamers?
Gamers?
I said that really loud. Gamers, welcome to Go See Bitch again.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to just say that like every single episode. It's catchy. Like, there's a reason why it stayed in our memories.
Yeah, we have another iconic line coming up this episode, which I'm very excited to talk about.
Me too.
But we're on episode 2. So much has happened already.
Yeah, this... we finished watching the episode yesterday, and Matt was like, how do they put so many things in one episode of the show?
Yeah, like, I know it's like 45 minutes long or whatever, but still, like, so much happens. I think because a lot of stuff happens off screen as well. Like even when we start, they're like, okay, well, it's clear Ryan's been there for a while now, and they're sorting out his stuff for getting him into foster care. So it's like, okay, like, stuff has already happened off screen, right? That we've got to deal with. And then they pack everything into this one episode. Mm-hmm. And it's just a lot, but in a good way.
Yeah, no, it's really good because, like, it's not like it feels like the episode is rushed trying to fit as many elements in as it possibly can. It still feels like an episode of television that's like, you don't get whiplash from watching it, but you do finish it and go, wow, they really did move the plot along quite a bit with just one single episode here.
Yeah, that's true. It does move, which is nice. Like, sometimes it doesn't. Mm-hmm. And, like, I'm not saying in this show particularly. I mean, like, in some shows, you'll watch an episode, it'll be an hour long, and at the end you'll be like, okay, so nothing happened. Whereas this... Yeah. Everything that happens, but, like, I don't know, it's dealable. At the end, you're like, okay, cool. But I just wanted to watch the next episode. That's
oh
the
my
issue.
God, I know! Because it's like, every character has been developed and fleshed out a bit more. Like, we really have a good sense of these characters at this point through 2 episodes. And they each have their own thing and clear motivations going on, which I know is just how storytelling works, but, like, for a teen drama show, it's just, it's like, you can kind of see that they're setting up all these pieces that are about to just, like, all just get blown off the table, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, you can see the dominoes being set up, which I quite like. Mm-hmm. Should we get into it?
Yeah, I think we should get into it. We got Sandy grillin'. What's Sandy grillin'?
I don't know. I didn't take a real look, but I'm sure he's grilling something up nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice summer day. The boys are in the pool. Sandy's grilling. Kirsten's in the kitchen. She's on I think she's got this model home, like, model. And she's all stressed about that. So we learn that she's, like, an architect, I guess.
Yeah.
Or at least in the business of building houses.
Mm-hmm. It is basically Arrested Development in that sense, I guess. But...
Yeah, the whole time when they eventually go to this model house, I was like, this isn't the one from Arrested Development. This isn't, like, livable, like that kind of was.
Yeah, because they very much do just live in the model home in Arrested Development. Yeah. No, she's got the little model, and she's, I guess, like, this model home is, like, cursed, apparently. Like, they used to have these contractors, and then they just up and left or something. Yeah. It just never got finished, so it's just this unfinished model home just chilling.
It's just chilling, like, and obviously she's worried about it and getting stressed because, money. But yeah, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. I think they explained it, and then I immediately forgot. It was one of those.
Yeah, I just didn't really care that much. I was like, this is fine. The main thing is we also know that she's talking to her dad, because she works for her dad, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. It'll be sold by Christmas, I promise, blah, blah, blah. And so we haven't seen her dad yet, but we kind of, like, get the idea of, like, we kind of get an idea of what kind of person he is a little bit through this.
A little bit. Yeah, we know that it's not particularly, like, I was going to say fatherly, but I mean, lots of people have this relationship with their dad. But I mean, like, it's not super, like, parent-child. It's more business, you know?
Yeah.
I can't imagine phoning my dad and being like, okay, Dad, leave me alone, and not at least, okay, bye, I love you.
Yeah.
Even a begrudging one. But yeah, and then Sandy comes in, and he's like, I literally just watched this. But they're talking. It's Ryan's last day there. And they're talking about how, you know, he's gonna go to like this halfway home kind of place. Legally, he won't have anyone recognize his parents. And he'll be like, Sandy's like, oh, my friend in social care like pulls some strings, so you're gonna be staying with a few other guys, and it's just not. It doesn't sound like super fun, obviously.
Yeah.
It's foster care.
Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, obviously it's set up to be like, yeah, this sucks, and it would be really unfortunate if Ryan ended up there. But Kirsten is still very much on the like, look, I can't let this strange boy just live with us. Sandy, you deal with people like this every single day. Why this one? Why this case in particular? And Kirsten is still pushing back on it, and Sandy's kind of arguing about how, like, look, the foster system sucks. I don't want him to, I don't know. But, like, Sandy at this point has agreed, like, been like, okay, like, yes, he's gonna be taken into the hands of the law at this point, because it's not my responsibility. Like, I mean, you can tell he's, like, doesn't feel great about it, but he's going along with the situation.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, like, so Seth also wants Ryan to stay, obviously, and I think Ryan wants to stay, but this is the thing, okay, it's kind of a big decision to, like, adopt or foster someone.
Yes, it is.
So it's not one you can really make in the space of, what, like a weekend, right?
Yeah.
Especially, like, a teenager who, he is pretty standoffish, it's not, like, if Kirsten's not immediately made a bond with him, like, that's a lot to kind of handle. I'm a big, like, advocate for adoption and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, it makes sense that she would need to think about that for longer than, like, a couple of days.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a huge decision. Like, it is one of those things where, yes, like, he is already almost the age of adulthood. Like, I mean, he's probably, like, 16 or something. So it is still, like, a couple-year commitment if you are going to just adopt another teenager.
Yeah, and even then, when he's an adult, he's still going to need, like, support and stuff. It's just, it's like, yeah, I mean, when she's like, Sandy, he's not a puppy, like, you can't just bring him in and, like, we'll have him. Like, he's a person. You know, she's making some sense as well about, like, she's not being unreasonable for being like, no, I don't want to adopt a kid I literally met the other day.
Yeah, she does have a lot of other stuff going on her plate as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's like she does already have one kid, and she is a very busy, like, working woman.
Yeah,
and same with Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy's like, they're both busy and they've already got one kid. Like, of course they have lots of money and lots of space, and, like, you know, those are the kind of people that probably, and they're very loving, so, like, they're the kind of people who should be adopting, especially older kids. But it is, it's understandable that she doesn't necessarily want to foster him. Because, it's a big commitment, and, like, she doesn't even know Ryan very well. And for what we see during this episode, he's a lot of trouble.
He does have a tendency to get into some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, already he's been in one fight and, like, got her son wasted.
This is true.
From her point of view, this is what I'm saying. Obviously, I want Ryan to be there, and I know he is going to be there, because the show has 4 seasons. But I'm also like, yeah, from her point of view, this kid is just causing trouble, and, like, Ryan's very standoffish, so we haven't seen many conversations between them, but I imagine she's like, okay, so Ryan, tell me a bit about yourself, and he just, like, looks and broods, you know?
Yeah, they don't really talk a whole lot this episode even. Like, he comes in and looks at the model home, and he does the Zoolander, what is this, a center for ants? And then she just stares at him and is like, it's a model home.
Yeah, it's so fun, because she's like, oh, I build them. Well, not the models, but like the homes. And he just kind of stares at her.
Like, okay, one thing I noticed this episode is I feel like there's so much discussion about how awkward and nerdy Seth is. There's very little discussion about how awkward Ryan is, but he really is an awkward teen as well. He just doesn't know what to say.
Yeah, I guess it's like a fish out of water thing.
Yeah,
because
for
like
sure.
obviously everyone there's like waspy, you know, fucking rich people. So I would be standoffish if I was around that many rich people. I'd be like, I'm not telling these people anything about me.
Yeah,
I don't trust him. But yeah, he is really awkward. Everyone kind of just, I guess the way it's meant to be read is that he's like mysterious and pained, where in reality he's just fucking weird.
He's kind of weird, and it's not like he's trying to be rude. He's very much trying to just be friendly with Kirsten.
Yeah. He's just
awkward.
People ask him a question, and he'll kind of just stare at them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, he's a weird guy. He's the opposite of Seth in terms of why they're weird. Like, Seth has this thing where he's awkward in the way where he just says way too many things. He says the thing that you're like not supposed to say, and he just keeps talking, and he talks so fast. Like, I need subtitles for Seth because he's so mumbly. Like, he's just awkward in that way. And whereas Ryan is awkward in the way where it's the things he doesn't say.
Yeah, he kind of just like looks and blinks at you, and you're like, okay, cool. I mean, it's interesting because one, that's obviously why they're a good pairing is, you know, they are similar but also opposite. And the other thing is, so like Josh Schwartz. I got my new, like, my last Invisalign in, and it's causing me a very slight lisp. So apologies for everyone listening, but Josh Schwartz, who's the writer, showrunner, creator guy, I think he moved from like the East Coast to go to, and like Seth and Ryan are both kind of inspired by himself because he was like fish out of water. He was a Jewish kid surrounded by all these waspy rich kids. So that kind of like theme, especially the first season, was like which is very true to life and obvious. You know, because it makes sense why all these characters are kind of a bit weird and a bit awkward around people, and it does feel like organic. Like, you know, people who you had conversations that are like that. Either you have been the awkward one or someone else has, which I think is good. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a fun. It really works for this show.
It's good. We love to see it. But yeah, then they all, like, Sandy comes in, Seth comes in, they sit down for dinner, and Seth is like, well, Ryan, you should stay because Mum never cooks. And she's like, Cass is like, I do cook. And she says, Dad, back me up. And Sandy's like, honey. It's very cute. I do like how the Cohens seem like a real family.
Yeah. I also love that Sandy's like, no one is saying you should cook more.
Yeah. I love it. And she's just like, I make a good brisket. And they're like, yeah. And that's it. So it's sweet. But obviously Seth wants Ryan to stay, and Sandy and Kirsten are kind of avoiding the question. Like, in front of Ryan, they obviously don't want to say, like, no. But just, they're sort of saying, it's best for him if he does this. And, like, it's a big commitment. Seth is obviously like, okay, 16-year-olds are not going to get adopted or fostered. You know, with a record as well.
He fully is like that.
Like, he's just not going to happen.
And he's like, guys, we have all this space. Why can we not just let him live here? Like, we literally have tons of space. He can just live in the pool house. Like, what is the problem? And it's like, Seth makes some pretty good points here. Seth sucks in so many ways, but he was kind of valid in this episode where he was just like very advocating for Ryan to stay.
Point. And then he to a point. I have a lot of issues with Seth this episode. We'll get there.
Yeah, well, he is also just very stupid.
He's so stupid. My God.
Yeah. But so then we go to like, it's later at night and Ryan is, so it's dark out now. It's not crazy late because most people are still awake, but it's like late enough that it's dark out. No one's going to come check in on Ryan anymore. And he's basically deciding, look, I'm not going to wait till morning and get shipped off to foster care. I'm just going to leave. Like, I'm just going to walk out with my stuff, with my bike and my, like, one wife beater, and I'm going to leave.
Leather jacket.
Yeah. And he bumps into Seth on the way out the pool house, and Seth is just like, I have an idea. I have a better idea than you just running away. And
yeah, his
idea sucks.
Stupid.
It's so
stupid. There are so many things wrong with this fucking plan.
Yeah.
So Seth goes to his room and he puts on like a turtleneck. He puts on a tactile neck. And he is like sorting some stuff out, and then Sandy comes in and he's like, "Oh, I want to talk to you." So Seth like hides under the covers, like neck up. And Sandy
pretends
comes
to be asleep.
And it's obviously, it must be like 10 o'clock or something, because Sandy's like, "You're asleep?" Like, he's confused.
Yeah.
And obviously Seth isn't even trying to do like the sleepy voice or anything. He's just like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm awake." He talks so fast.
Yeah.
And so Sandy's trying to talk to him about it, like, "Hey, you know, I'm really sorry. I know you like Seth. I know you like Ryan. You can still hang out with him, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Yeah, Dad, whatever, fine." And Sandy leaves, but Seth like sneaks out with his skateboard and his turtleneck.
Literally the second that Sandy closes the door, he does a full, like, it's just like a fucking spy roll. It's like he does this insane roll out of his bed the second the door closes, and it looks like he's trying to be in like an action movie.
And it's like, okay, are we just going to pretend Sandy wouldn't hear that? And like,
I don't know, like, I think so.
And like, hear him fussing around, and then he's like, "I'm asleep." It's like, "Well, I heard you moving shit." Whatever, maybe Sandy's hard of hearing and it's just never mentioned. Yeah, but Brian's outside waiting for Seth, and then he sees Marissa, and she's on her way to Summer's birthday party, but like the two of them start talking. She immediately is like, "Okay, something fishy's going on here. I want to come."
Yeah, and when Seth comes out, he's like, "Oh, going to a party? Clearly my invite got lost in the mail because I'm a little nerd and I have to be awkward as fuck and make people uncomfortable."
Ugh.
And Marissa's like, "It's my friend Summer's birthday." And Seth's just like, "Summer's birthday's not until Wednesday." And it's just... like, remember what I said? Sometimes the way Seth is awkward is like he continues to say things.
He says too much. Yeah, baby, people don't have... If your birthday's on a Wednesday, you'll probably have to party at the weekend. Like, I don't... Why would you say that? But yeah, Marissa figures out that something's off, because, like, Brian's there on his bike, and Seth's got his skateboard. So she's like, where are you two going? I want to go. And they end up getting in Marissa's car and driving off. And Seth is such a dick, because...
Oh my god, he's so rude!
He's so rude. They're talking about music, and she's like, "Oh, I'm really into punk at the moment." He's like, "Avril Lavigne isn't punk." Shut the fuck up.
And then she lists all these bands, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, well, what about all these bands that I listen to, like The Clash?" And... Seth's just like, "Oh no, Marissa Cooper listens to the same music I do. I have to kill myself now." And it's like, you're such a little bitch.
You're such a loser. Like, you should be excited that, one, there's a hot girl who has the same fucking taste in shit as you. And two, she's best friends with, like, the girl that you have a crush on. So, shouldn't you be like...
Oh my god, Seth? Okay, wait. Seth is gatekeep. Marissa's girl boss. Does that mean is Ryan gaslight?
Ryan wouldn't gaslight someone.
He wouldn't, yeah. But we do have a girl boss and a gatekeep here.
Very much so. Well, as soon as probably Seth would also gaslight someone. I think he does with Anna in the future. I'm 100% sure he does.
Probably.
Yeah, and Summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, shouldn't he be trying to like butter up Marissa and be all friendly with her?
Yeah, no, instead he's going to be awkward and make it as uncomfortable as possible.
Because he's stupid.
Yeah. He needs her to know that he's actually the one who's cooler than her, even though she's the popular one.
Yeah, like, he's such a dick. But Ryan's being all mysterious. It's so, because Marissa also asked him, like, what music do you like? And he's like, everything.
Fucking king, I love him. What a fucking weirdo. Like
that's it. The scene is the perfect example of the dynamic of, like, Seth is talking too much and being a dick, and then Ryan is just not saying anything and, like, not showing any emotion apart from brooding. And Marissa is somehow, like, still enamored with it. I'd be like, what the fuck is this fucking weirdo and his weird little brother? Like,
yeah, no, she loves this shit. And so we find out then what the idea was. Seth's big idea was, let's go to the model home.
Yes.
Because this is habitable. This is somewhere that Ryan could live.
Okay, I mean, this is also the title of the episode, is the model home.
Yeah.
So this place, obviously it's like a mansion, but more importantly, there's nothing in it. There's no windows. It's literally just like the frame of that. Like, there's no windows. There doesn't seem to be any.
Yeah.
There's no lighting. There's no electricity. There's nothing to cook on. So essentially, Ryan is just homeless, but with shelter.
But he's got, like, a bit of shelter. Yeah, like, there's a breeze coming in. There's, like, scaffolding in the building. Like, it's
literally just shelter. Like, it's not like the home from Arrested Development where you're like, okay, well, at least there's like stuff is not very well built, but, like, it's there.
Yeah.
No, it's just the bricks in this house. So we don't understand how Ryan thinks this is livable by any means. And also, I guess apparently it's been not a bad, like, no one's been there in a while. I guess there's no one else decided to move in or squat. Probably because they were like, this is just shelter.
Yeah, literally. Like, that's why.
What does he think is going to happen? And then Ryan's just going to be, like, walking around the town, and he's never going to run into anyone that recognizes him.
It makes literally no sense. Like, it's an extremely, like, Band-Aid on a gunshot wound kind of situation.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. And then, obviously, like, I mean, I'm skipping ahead, we'll go back. But, like, obviously the next day, they fucking call the police. Like, the Cohens call the police because a child is missing.
Yeah.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, you can't just disappear and have them go, well, I guess he'll turn up. He'll be fine. It's like, yeah, no, you're a missing person now. How did that not click for you? I don't understand.
It's not like at least if Ryan just, like, ran off somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, he got on a bus and, like, fucked off. It's like, okay, well, he left. He could have told Seth, you know, I'm gonna go stay with these people. I'm gonna get a bus. Seth could have given him some money. I mean, obviously we wouldn't have a show, but, like, that could have been that.
Yeah.
And then the next day Seth can just say, Ryan's fine. He just didn't want to say goodbye. So he just left.
Well, instead,
right?
Seth ends up, King shit lying to the police, but the thing he says to the police, we'll get there later, is so fucking stupid that it's like...
It's so stupid. It's obviously fake and no one questions it.
They're very obviously teenagers. Because, like, I mean, not that adults are not incredibly stupid, too, because there are many stupid adults on this show, but, like, the amount to which they think through their plans is extremely, like, one step ahead, not even remotely. It's literally just, this is a place you can stay. That's it.
There's literally shelter. Never fucking mind that obviously, like, it's going to be freezing at night, right? Like, it's got to be pretty cold. There doesn't seem to be a lot of clouds. I know they're by the sea, but it's August in California, in Southern California.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. And then eventually it's going to be cold. Like, I don't know. It's just stupid plan. I mean, the model home seems like a cool place to hang out because they're hanging out, like Ryan and Marissa are flirting. Seth's just skateboarding in the empty pool.
Grind.
And yeah, he's oh my god, do you see that video of Tony Hawk doing his last 540?
I did not watch the video, no, but I did hear about that. The main reason I didn't watch it was because it was like, oh, I'm gonna sell something as an NFT, and I was like, Tony Hawk, I'm gonna fucking kill you. So
Tony Hawk is cancelled. I know. I've been playing those fucking video games since I was like 10 years old, and I feel betrayal. The one fucking rich white man I trusted. What a fool I am.
Tragic.
But it was still very sad. I mean, obviously Seth isn't doing that. He's just fucking going up and down.
Yeah, he's not doing anything. He's literally just like going up and down the sides of the pool wall, and
it's basically like a longboard too, I think. So I'm not quite sure how he's even just doing anything.
I don't know. It's wild how popular skateboarding was in this era, and I feel like no one talks enough about how like people do still skateboard. It's not like it stopped being a thing, but like during my middle school years, it was like everyone wore skate shoes. Everyone had a skateboard, even though like a lot of people didn't actually know how to skateboard. And then like Grind was popular. And literally I watched Grind just for Adam Brody. I didn't even skateboard. I was just like, Adam Brody's hot. I'm gonna watch this movie and learn the dance that they do in it. And it was so popular. And and it baffles me that like I think this might only be a Canadian store, but it baffles me that like stores like West 49 are still in business here, because I'm like, it's not California or 2003.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like my friends skate because they're like cool. I cannot because I have old people joints.
Yeah.
So I just know it's not going to be a good idea. I have tried to do it a few times. Like, yeah, I like had my friend like hold my hand while I got on her skateboard, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. But
it's hard.
It's hard. I don't have very good balance.
Yeah.
But on the spiritual plane, I am a skateboarder. I'm a skateboarder by proxy, and I know what you mean. There was that period, like early to mid 2000s, skateboarding aesthetic.
It was
is
everything.
unrivaled.
Like literally everyone you knew in school was wearing like Hurley clothing and like Roxy clothing and like literally everything like that.
Vans, Quicksilver. Yes, I had this Quicksilver top. For some reason, my dad loved Quicksilver clothing, even though. Obviously, he's never stepped foot on a skateboard in his life. He's too fucking big to do that anyway. But, like, he's 6'4". What fucking skateboard is he gonna get on? Like, and he's a big guy too. It's not like he's Tony Hawk where he's, like, lean.
Yeah.
You know? He's a big... he's flat-footed. Like, it's not... that he could not get on a skateboard. However... or a surfboard. But however, he loves Quicksilver clothing and has a lot. And he's got this t-shirt that's like this. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It kind of looks like someone vomited on a bowling alley floor.
Yeah.
Like that's the print, but I kind of love it. And I really want to steal it from him.
Oh my god.
But
Incredible.
It's very
I just
cool.
love the idea of an older
like,
person wearing skate clothes.
Exactly, like he still wears baggy jeans and he wears like a Quicksilver t-shirt. And I'm like, Dad, you got dressed like that.
I love that so much.
Why are you dressed like a 15-year-old in 2005? Yeah. It's not. But no, I did love skate shoes. I had this massive pair of skate shoes they had like a skull print on it. And then they also had like hot pink laces.
Oh, that fucking rules.
They were the most emo shit ever. I fucking loved them.
Good. It was a good aesthetic. I wouldn't go back to it, but I really appreciate that time. And everyone had the shaggy haircut too. Everyone had like a shaggy haircut.
Oh yes, The boys with the shaggy hair at the skate park, don't get me started. They were the loves of my life.
Yeah, no, fully.
The original crushes. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't go back to it fully. Like, baggy kind of low-rise jeans and, like, trousers and stuff. And, like, bulky shoes. You're pretty in fashion now. So, like, I'll wear that. I'll wear an ode to Avril Lavigne or something, but not the whole hog. I'm not going to do chunky
I would maybe wear, like, skate shoes. I will not wear low-rise pants because the fucking Dorina 1-inch zipper was way too... It fucking ruined me. I just hated it so much. 1-inch zippers were the worst invention of pants of all time. And I feel like, I mean, I guess if you're, like, really skinny, then, like, low-rise clothes kind of, like, that's what they're made for. It's, like, made for skinny people, I feel like. And it's, like, I feel like
It's made... Yeah, that's why I'm against the kind of low-rise stuff coming back. Because it's kind of made for people who have flat stomachs, which I do not have. And is unrealistic. It's like, oh my god, we got so far into body positivity. And then it was like, okay, everyone fucking flat stomach, super tight, low-rise jeans. No, we're not doing that.
No, I refuse.
We're not doing... That's fine if you want to wear it, but, like, let's not make that a trend.
Yeah, because, like, I need to wear high-waisted pants. It holds my gut in. Like, and it gives me a figure. Like...
You think I can go... You think with my fucking stomach I can just go out in low-rise jeans and no one's going to say anything? Then no one's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'll look... It wouldn't... I just can't do it because, like, people would think I'd lost my mind, or I just had my gut out. I look like Winnie the Pooh.
It's just not comfortable.
Do that, but it's not. I think if you have the body and you're, show it off, but I don't think it should be like a thing. Like, the only option should not be low rise.
Yes.
Right? Just have that be one of many options. Whatever your body type is, whatever looks best on you, that's good. But let's just open it up. Let's keep the options open.
I want to still be able... I want to have the option to choose what kind of jeans. I want to choose how much of a muffin top that I have. And I'm going to choose 0. But, I want to choose. I want to make that choice.
I'm going to... Yeah, don't want to have my gut out. However, I have been trying to reason with myself. I'm like, okay, how could I pull off a whale tail? Because I don't feel like I should be limited.
Yeah, and you can't do that with high-waisted pants.
No, so I'm trying to figure out a way I can do that. I mean, maybe something like backless, and do the little Gillian Anderson vibe.
Yeah. Because
whale tails aren't in fashion all the time, so when they are, I want to experience it.
Fair.
I'm still, vibrant and cultured. Why not? But anyway, we got distracted.
We got a little distracted. Okay, we have to talk about Marissa calling Seth out on his bullshit. Because Seth is just skateboarding and Marissa and Ryan are talking and they're having a really nice conversation. Like, Marissa opens up to Ryan about, like, her dad, which she hasn't talked to anyone about. She hasn't talked to Summer or Luke about it. She mentions just, like, not in details, but just, guys keep coming to her house. I think he's in trouble. He's not going to the office anymore. Mm-hmm. And Ryan's like, yeah, my dad got arrested.
Yeah, my dad's in jail. It's like, okay, well, thank you for that. Yeah. It's like if you tell someone, have you ever told someone, like, I've been having headaches for a few days, and it's like, oh, yeah, my friend had headaches, and then they died.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, thank you for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, they kind of bond over having shitty dads. And then Seth is like, you never invited me to any parties. I've never spoken to you in my life. We've lived next door to each other forever, and, like, we're not, like, bleh. And she's just kind of like, yeah, because that's not true. And also, You're weird. Like, because he also, she's like, oh, I don't remember when I started dating Luke. Like, they've been dating for a while. And he's like, oh, you started dating in the 10th grade when you made out at the back of the bus when we went to the Museum of Tolerance. And she's like, see, that's why people aren't friends with you.
Yeah. It's very much just like, she basically is like, what's your problem? Like, why are you such a freak to me? Like, why are you like this? And just, I don't know, she makes some really good points. Like, she just calls him out. Like, she also says, like, because he's like, yeah, you never talk to me or invite me to anything. And she's like, you never talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, it goes both ways. I mean, because I can't remember who it was. Someone asked us if, like, we thought Seth was, like, autistic coded.
Mhm.
And also, it's something I kind of thought of, because I was like, he does seem to have an issue with, like, social cues and stuff, but I think it's just that he's a dick, because there is a difference. There's a big like, as much as media is like, well, autistic people, that they just kind of raise their hand up. They're like, well, they think it's like one way for people to be. No, that is obviously not true. But I think Seth is just a dick. I don't think it was definitely not done on purpose.
He's sheltered. And it's a combination of so many things. He's sheltered. He never had a sibling growing up, so it's not like he even had anyone else to talk to. So I think a lot of a lot of his social stuff is like, he literally only talks to his parents. Like, I don't even know if he has any friends at school. We never see any of them if he does. Like, I was an only child until I was like 15, and I had friends though, so it's not like I didn't have anyone to talk to. So he is just missing a lot of social interaction, like the social knowledge you get from having literally any friends, I think.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's one that he's sheltered, and like, he grew up different. I mean, I imagine the area, from all the characters we've seen so far, like, it's very waspy. So I'm sure he was outcast from just being different, from just being Jewish, and also he is kind of just generally awkward. So we don't see his friends. So I think it is just like, he's a bit of this is a hot take, if it was 2021, he'd probably be like vaguely incel-y.
Oh yeah, no, fully. He's definitely an incel.
Yeah.
He's
an incel. Yeah, he just doesn't really. He just seems like he takes stuff as like a personal thing when it's not.
Yeah, and he has like a quippy comment about everything.
Yeah, which pisses people off. That's the thing. I've learned this from doing it. Is if you are like me, and like, I was basically an own child, like quite sheltered, very happy just talking to my parents and being in my room and playing video games. In like video games and movies, everyone always has a quippy comment. And when you do that in real life, it pisses people off.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably it. Is like, he learned how to socialize from movies and talking to adults.
Yeah.
And probably pissed people off, because I was the same as a teenager.
Yeah, same. I was like, Chandler Bing is like the funniest person when I was like 13.
I was like, everyone will like me if I'm just kind of mean to them.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, they don't.
They don't.
So I think it's probably realistic that like Seth as an adult was normal and has maybe adjusted to everything. But Seth as a 16-year-old boy as well, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's 16-year-old boys who are socially adjusted also suck. So like,
yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely reasonable. Like, if you watch this show and you headcanoned him as like on the spectrum, I think that would be like, that makes total sense. But I don't think it was intended by the writers.
I don't think it was intended, and I know that coding isn't always an intentional thing. Yeah, but I do feel like it was not at all an intention of the writers, especially since most of the time when autistic coding comes up in TV shows, it's handled extremely heavy-handedly in an extremely not well done way.
So. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, like, by his behavior, you could definitely make a case for it. Like, I think that's reasonable. Like, by his behavior. Like, yes, he is. I have met this autistic guy who was a real dick. And like some of it would be like some of it would obviously be like missing like a few social cues. Other times it would just be that he was a dick. And I remember like someone was like, no, I'm like, no, he's a dick. He's just mean.
Yeah, some people are just mean.
Yeah, some people are just mean. Like, you can have some people are just mean, and that's not okay, but it's a fact of life.
Yeah.
I was like, those two things don't interact.
Yeah.
There's no correlation between some, neurodivergency and being a dick. But I don't think it's a thing because, you're right. It's always heavy-handed. When someone is autistic coded, even if it's never outright said, it's always done so heavy-handedly. Mm. It's always done like, oh boy, it's different. Like, no one does that. They're just like, yeah, Seth is a bit weird.
Yeah, no, it's always written like a Rain Man type situation where, like Sherlock or like that one doctor show that's new with that one guy. I don't even know what it's called, but it's very
it's like they're magic and they're mean to people just unnecessarily. As opposed to, like, obviously, I've met plenty of autistic people in my life, and they're all diverse and have different personalities. Mm-hmm. It's not, and obviously there's a spectrum, so, no one really behaves in an exact way. Like, So, I think that's the thing, is it's not the, like, traditional media portrayal. However, I don't think a headcanon is unreasonable.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Definitely. Most headcanons, I'm like, yeah, go for it. If someone's like, I'm like, yeah, go for it. I don't give a shit if it, whatever, just go for it. They're fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she calls him out and just says that, like, no, he probably has a bit of a fucking victim complex. Once you decide that everyone doesn't like you, people will not like you because you've decided the world's against you.
Believe it or not.
Which... Believe it or not, when you just act like everyone hates you, turns out everyone will start hating you. Mm-hmm. And he kind of shuts up at that point, but she gets a phone call from Summer, who's like, where are you? And Seth is like, oh, tell Summer I said hi. And so Marissa says, oh, Seth Cohen says hi. And she goes, ew.
Yeah. I mean, she's right.
We're so mean to Seth. He's nice, but now he's fine. We'll get into him being a terrible boyfriend later, but for now he's fine. Yeah. So she's like, oh, you need to come over. Like, where are you? We're gonna come and get you. So obviously Marissa's like, no, it's fine. I'm coming. I just got held up, and Marissa has to go to this party, so no one thinks it's weird, and Seth has to go home. So
this is also where
evening.
This is also where Marissa learns about them getting beaten up by the water polo people. Because I feel like Seth makes like some stupid comment or something about Luke. And I mean, he's right, but then it's just very much like, oh yeah, those guys, we know them. They beat us up.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's like, well, I technically threw the first punch.
Yeah, but they were also kicking the shit out of Seth first, so I think it's pretty valid for you to throw the first punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she's like, oh, she's kind of apologizes for his behavior a bit. But yeah, they go off. I think it's the next morning. Obviously, Sandy like goes into Ryan's room and he's not there. So obviously they called the fucking police. Like we said, there's a missing child. Mm-hmm. Then like next door, oh yeah, Shailene Woodley is there again, as Marissa's little sister, and she like Julie Cooper is saying to Julie and Jimmy, like she's saying, oh well, obviously she needs a new horse. She needs a pony. He's like, does she need a pony? Julie.
Jimmy's just like, she's not even gonna care about it in 2 years. And then Shailene Woodley, 10-year-old Shailene Woodley comes in and she's like, China is the prettiest pony that's ever lived and I'm gonna love her till I die.
It's the best line. I love it. But I don't have any sympathy for Jimmy because literally, like, he's like, I would rather go to prison than say no to my wife.
Yeah, literally.
I would rather go to prison than have a conversation about finances with my spouse.
Yeah.
Okay, then go to prison.
Go to prison then, bitch.
I would rather ruin countless lives than have a conversation with my spouse.
To be fair, it's like if Julie was my wife, I'd also want to give her everything I could because she's Julie fucking Cooper. Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, Queen, you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
she does
sis,
deserve it. Well, I mean, for now she does. We'll wait until she does some weird fucking shit in like 10 episodes. But speaking of some of the weird fucking shit she's going to do in 10 episodes, Luke's here.
Luke's there. Yeah, it's the morning. He just came to hang out. And he's eating breakfast. He's like, oh, I thought we'd hang out today, Marissa. And obviously she's wanting to go and see Ryan. And I was going to say hang out with Seth. She doesn't want to hang out with Seth, but she wants to see Ryan. So she makes up this lie about how, like, she needs to get waxed by some lady called Yuki, who is so good that, like, it doesn't even hurt. And she's like, oh, while we're there, you can get your nails done. So Luke is like, oh, I'm a man. I don't want to fucking go to a spa.
Yeah.
So he leaves.
Yeah, so he believes it, and then she starts to head out. And we also see a real quick scene of Seth. This is where he lies to the cops, and they're asking him about, like, oh, you know, do you have any idea where Ryan is? And he's like, I don't know. I mean, the last time I saw him, he said he was going to go down to Mexico and bet on cockfights.
Which is such an obvious lie.
It's like, what the and his delivery of it is not even remotely convincing. Like, it's just incredibly a lie all the way through.
Yeah. And, like, Sandy, I mean, his parents are not like, we can tell when you're lying because you're our child. This is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Not even them are like, no, like, come on. Even if you're not going to tell the police, tell us. Like, we need to know where Brian is.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid, but apparently the police fucking believe it, so they sneak out to go see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so they go, and they've brought supplies of, like, that's the other thing. So, Marissa brings a loofah, and they're like, what the hell's a loofah? But they don't wash their fucking balls.
They don't!
No, they do not. But, where's the running water?
Yeah, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna use the loofah in the fucking ocean?
Is he gonna drink any fucking water?
Yeah, I don't think they showed anyone bringing any bottled water or anything like that. Anything to eat. Literally anything. No. They bring toilet paper. Oh, Marissa made him a mix CD. Does he
shitting?
Does he have a CD player? It is cute.
There's like a boombox at the end, so yeah. I guess they have that. But, like, yeah, they bring toilet paper. Where's he shitting?
I don't know. Probably on the beach. He's probably treating the beach like his own private litter box. I'm guessing.
I hope so. But yeah, Marissa has made him a mixtape since last night. I guess she went to the party and also made him a mixtape in the morning.
I guess so. The model
and it's
home
got
mix.
Like a design.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a design on the front. Mm-hmm. Like, she fucking put effort into this shit. It's like a graphic design.
I mean, it's not like incredibly it's like she found an image on like a Google image search of just like a beachy background and then put it in paint and then put in like a serif font on top of it, the model home mix. But it's still effort. It's still effort.
That's still effort. Like, making a mixtape is quite, well, I mean, because I used to make them for my friends all the time, like on just iTunes or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still like effort to make someone a playlist. And she, like, obviously went to this party and got home, and it's the morning, so she's not, like, not hungover or anything.
Oh, well, she did leave the party early, which we kind of skipped over, but, like, her and Luke kind of get in a fight at the party because Luke's like, next time I see that guy, I'm gonna beat him up because he's a fucking loser. And then Marissa's like, you don't know him. And she storms out.
She's like, you don't know him. And he's like, well, neither of you. You've spoken to him twice.
I love how much she'll stand up for Ryan when Luke, like, makes fun of Ryan or says he's going to beat up Ryan, but then he'll be like, Seth Cohen's fucking queer, and then she just doesn't say anything. Like,
yeah,
not an ally.
Marissa just not, she's not an ally, she's not support LGBT rights, although we do find out she is the B.
That's
Spoiler
true.
alert.
She is.
She just put the B in LGBT. But, like, yeah, she doesn't just say, like, hey, Leo, Steph. Like, she doesn't give a shit about Seth.
No.
I nearly said Steph. It's gonna get confusing. But she doesn't give a shit about Seth. Even, you know, the homophobic stuff, she's not like, hey, chill out.
Yeah, not cool. Stop saying queer is a slur, you fucker.
Yeah, stop saying it is a slur. It's not a slur. Fuck off. She just doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
At all. It just offends Ryan because she has a crush on him. But yeah, they go to this place and then Ryan's like, did anyone bring any food? Obviously they didn't. So they head out to the boardwalk and go to the diner. It's so cute though because like Brian's on his little bike and Seth's skateboarding and then Marissa's just skipping.
She's running behind them and then eventually instead of like having her try to keep up with them on their like wheeled devices, she jumps on Ryan's back and like rides on the bike with him.
Yeah, he gives her a backy.
Yeah.
No, that that is what it's called. British people defend me. It's called a backy, right? Like when you get on the back of someone's bike.
Love that for you over there. I've never heard that before.
Backy's also what you call loose tobacco, so, you know.
Okay.
Backy means one thing as a child and a different thing as an adult.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
he's giving her a backy, and they go to this restaurant, and do they not think that, you know, missing person who the cops are looking for should maybe not go inside a restaurant that has a lot of people in it?
They're so stupid. This is what the whole episode, I was like, why are you guys doing it? Like, you guys are so fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because what could have just happened, right, is like, Ryan goes into foster care for a bit. I mean, they've all been quite frank about it that he probably won't get fostered super quick.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, like, Seth and Sandy can kind of work on Kirsten. They can still hang out. And they can, you know, they can hang out with Ryan and then be like, hey, Seth's really happy with him. Maybe we should just bring him into the home. You can do all that. And, like, she'd probably come around to the idea.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, there's another scene, I'm not sure if we missed, like, she feels kind of guilty about not, like, giving him a home, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably would, you know, if you gave her some more time, she'd probably come, like, you know, realize it's a good idea. But, or even, like, they can still be friends with him and just make sure he stays out of trouble. And, like, when he's an adult and ages out of the system, like, you know, still support him and everything.
Yeah.
There's no reason they can't not see him. But instead, they're like, let's make everyone think you've just fucking died or something.
Yeah, just disappeared. Just fucking just vanished.
Yeah, that's fine. And you'll just squat for the next 2 years.
Uh-huh. Yeah, normal.
Okay. Yeah, it's super normal. And you'll live in the town where the people who know what you look like and know you're missing, and they'll be missing posters and shit up around. Like, I don't know what they're thinking.
And also,
anyway.
What if the home gets... Literally, Kirsten was talking about getting the home finished. So this is not a long-term plan, because if she gets the home finished before Christmas, then he can't live there by then. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, they start talking about a more long-term plan. Like, Ryan says his mum's ex-boyfriend lives in Austin now and, like, was a nice guy and gave Ryan some, like, construction work over the summer, apparently. And said, you know, if you're ever in Austin, like, come see me. So Ryan is gonna go and fucking stay with him, but, like, hasn't obviously talked to this guy. Again, bad idea.
Bad idea, not a very well thought out plan. Like, maybe try to talk to this guy and be like, hey, like, I would assume he already tried to call this guy, because Ryan already tried to call everyone he knew when his mom kicked him out. So
yeah, and no one wanted him. So
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So Ryan's gonna go do that. He says like, oh, I need some money before I travel. Obviously, Seth and Marissa don't want him to go.
Yeah.
But they're like, okay, we'll help you out. And then Luke walks in.
Yeah. Well, we also find out that Seth and Marissa share a favorite book, too. It's not just that they listen to the same music. Yeah. Their favorite book is Both on the Road. Because Marissa's like,
by
like on the
Jack
road.
Kerouac, the wife murderer.
Yeah. And Seth's like, Marissa has the same favorite book as me, too.
Maybe you two should be friends since you have a lot in common. And maybe you would be friends if you stop being mean to her.
It's so fucking stupid. But yeah, Luke walks in, and him and his bros are fucking assholes. They just walk in and they're just like, they're just making like a lot of noise, and they just sit down and they're just being generally obnoxious.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, making American man noises.
Yeah.
And so they go in, and Marissa is like, look, I'll, go distract them, and then you guys sneak out the back. And they go to sneak out the back, and then obviously they walk past the kitchen or something, and the waitress is like, the front.
Yeah.
They have to go out the front. It's just, I love, like, the idea of, like, teenage plans just obviously not working.
Yeah.
And being stupid. It's so much funnier. Like, always, in so many shows and stuff, people, like, just sneak out the back. You can't sneak out of a restaurant.
Yeah, you can't just go out the back. This is why, like...
No.
Literally, like, you just can't. Have you never been to a restaurant before? I don't know.
No, you can't just go out the back. The back is almost always through the kitchen or past the kitchen or something. Like, that never happens.
Mm-hmm.
You either need to, like, make a run for it or, just fucking dine and dash. Like, you can't...
Yeah.
It's stupid, and I'm glad the plan does not work. So try and go out the front, and Ryan's got his hood up in August, and... like, obviously Luke sees them and is like, hey, he throws he calls Seth queer again. Very cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And they get into a fight, and do you know what I like about rich kids?
Nothing.
Bam! And just like, Ryan just says that and then sucker punches him.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And then they run off, and Seth and Ryan run off. Obviously, I mean, that was cool and everything. Obviously, they call the police.
Yeah, like, they made a scene when he is a wanted person or, like, a missing person. It's, like, very obvious that this is going to be, like, they're going to try to look for you. And they're so fucking stupid. Like, I'm happy that he punched Luke because Luke's an asshole here and deserved it.
Yeah.
But, like, come on. And then...
It was also stupid, yeah. Like, it's cool, but it has consequences, which is another thing I like. That, like, even if you think you're doing something cool, it does not mean that it doesn't have consequences that will fuck you over later.
Yeah. And, like, later on, Marissa meets them up at the model home and is like, I don't know what Luke is up... Like, I don't know why he's like that. I think he's just protective and, like, break up with him! We hate him!
Yeah, what the fuck is he protective over? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, break up with him. You're obviously not happy because you've been trying to fuck Ryan for ages, like, since you first saw him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. Like...
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation. You're not with Luke, and then you can fuck Ryan. Like, it's like, that's everything. That's you get everything you want.
Exactly. Win at Marissa dinner. But yeah, she shows up and she's like, why would you do that? Like, they called the cops. That was stupid. And then Kirsten and Jimmy show up at the model home. So, like, there was a scene earlier where he phoned her and said, oh, can we meet later? This is why it's suspicious, though, because Kirsten, as soon as Jimmy called, she left the house to pick up. Why are you leaving the house to answer the phone? You can't speak in front of your husband?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, I don't know if it was because, like, it may have been because she knew that he's, like, In the first episode, she got the vibe that something was wrong with him, like some kind of situation that was like maybe kind of personal. And he, like, yeah, that may have been why, but it is kind of weird that she does that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make you believe there's an affair coming.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but it's obviously, I mean, 'cause they kind of don't want you to like her. Like,
at first,
obviously,
yeah.
Yeah. At first, I mean, obviously she's, like, well within her rights to just not want to adopt a child because her husband brought him home.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know, but it was kind of weird. And he asked to speak to her sort of privately somewhere. And also we find out that China has alopecia, which is very disturbing.
Horse alopecia.
Horse alopecia. It's not disturbing that I mean, just the idea of a bald horse.
I think every horse should have alopecia. Just no mane, no tail, just bald.
I don't like that image. Can you fucking hairless horse? How?
Yeah, no, I don't like the image, but I think people would be less endeared to horses if they were all bald.
Yeah, it's like how people don't like hairless cats. So the only time you like hairless cats is if you're like a cat stan anyway. So it's like, no, you really need to love cats if your favorite. Because like my favorite kind of cat is a hairless cat.
I love hairless
they're just
cats.
Weird little. They're like weird little aliens. I love them.
Yeah, the only complaint I have is I saw one on Instagram recently, and I never realized that like they can just have incredibly just right in your face balls.
Ugh.
Because
Okay,
I'd never seen that before until I had been faced with that on Instagram. And I was like, suddenly I have to reconsider. I do love hairless cats, but like if they have balls, that's really hard for me to reckon with.
Yeah, well, no balls for my cats. Yeah, but they're cute little things. But the bald horse, I don't. What about the tail?
Gone.
Oh,
Flies all over that ass.
don't love it.
No, it's terrible. And people would not like horses as much. Little girls all around the country would no longer say, "Mommy, take me to horseback riding." They would say, "I don't want to sit on that freak." I think it would be a better world.
I often say I don't want to sit on that freak, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Fair.
But yeah, so she has alopecia, so he needs to take her to the vet.
Yeah, more money.
It's so stupid. More money. But yeah, they show up at the model home and the kids are there, so they hide and watch them. And Jimmy, he's like, so they're bonding. They're like, "Oh, this place reminds me of your parents' home. Yeah, where I had my first kiss. Oh, me too." Like, obviously they were talking about each other. Like, fucking, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird to live next door and still be friends with the ex you had when you were like 50.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward.
And to be like, if you did that, you would just be platonic friends, but they're like kind of weirdly flirting with each other. And so he basically asked for money, $100K.
Yeah, well, at first he's just like, "I got into some trouble," and then Kirsten is like, "Okay, how much do you need? You don't need to tell me what's happening. Just tell me how much money you need." And he's like, "It's too much." But yeah,
he's like, "Turn it down." He's like, "That's too much. I can't ask you for it." And she's like, "How much?" "It's fine." And he says like $100,000. She's like, "Okay." She just says, "What?"
I do feel like for rich people that probably isn't that much. Like, I feel like that would, I mean, it's still a lot of money even if you're like Orange County rich and not like billionaire rich, but I'm still thinking like, I feel like that would be like if one of my really best friends was like, "Can you give me $500? And I'd be like, that's not gonna kill me. It's still like a lot of money for me, but like it's not gonna kill me to give it to you."
Yeah, I was gonna say like, yeah, that's like 200, less like 200 quid or something. Like for me, it's like if my friend said like, "Look, I really need this money," and I'd be like, "Okay, I like money. I could like reach into my savings or something." And like if it's a really close friend and I know they'll pay me back, it's cool.
Yeah, because he does say that he is going to pay her back. Like it's not like she's just giving it to him.
no, he's like, I'll pay you back, but it'll take a couple of months. I'm like, well, yeah, it'll take a couple of fucking months. It's $100,000.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Like, how much fucking money do you make? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they do have really nice houses.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so they see that, and obviously Marissa's upset that, like, her dad's lying to her, because she's also, like, a daddy's girl, and, you know, it's tough to hear your parents have, like, financial issues, but also that they're not telling you, and it's just confirming what she already knew.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like, oh,
and $100,000,
yeah, that's a lot of money. It's kind of just like, oh, we might actually just not be rich anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which could be a lot of trouble for them, I guess, because they might have to move and become poors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they don't end up in a trailer park or anything.
God forbid. Yeah, so they also learn in this scene that the contractors are starting tomorrow. So, like, Ryan cannot continue to stay here, basically. He has to find a new place.
Yeah, he has to find a new place. So it's pretty much confirmed that he's going to have to leave town.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nowhere else to go. So yeah, then we get, like, sad fade-out music. Sandy, so they go, like, we're back at the Cohens, and Sandy says to Seth, he's like, oh, well, good news. They saw a guy matching Ryan's description, so let's get in the car. We're going to drive around. We're going to see if we can find him before the police do.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good idea, considering he just got into a fight.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. And I also love how much Sandy hates the cops, because, like, earlier there's a scene where he's like, why do you have to call the cops, honey? Why did you do that, Kirsten? And now he's just like, we gotta find him before the cops do.
Yeah, and then later he's like, don't say anything.
Yeah, do not talk to those cops. It's good.
He's like, do not talk to them unless I'm there. It's like, king shit.
Yeah.
And then there's a party. So there's another fucking
Oh, right.
party.
This is the party where Marissa leaves because of Luke. Why are there so many parties? How are they not so tired all the time?
I know. And that was because they're doing fucking lines of coke.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How are these? I mean, I know it's the summer, but, like, how are they partying every night? And yeah, not clearly being hungover. I guess they're young, so, like, you don't.
I still
get
got hungover when I was young. It sucked.
Yeah, also, I don't think they're drinking. Like, you don't get hungover if you drink moderately and also, like, have the same thing. I'm pretty sure these kids are just fucking drinking whatever they can get their hands on.
Yeah.
So they're mixing. They're also probably doing lines and weed. So it's like, they've got that hangover as well.
Yeah, there's
like,
definitely weed there for sure.
They're not responsibly drinking or partaking in drugs. So but it is, like, I don't know, to, like, see them do it, like, so openly, and, like, they are fucking going for it. It's not just like, oh, we're gonna have a few beers and maybe smoke a little weed. Like, no, they're doing fucking lines.
It's very,
which is, like, kind of,
yeah, it's a party.
Yeah, it's kind of mad to see, like, supposed teenagers do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get into, like, this is where Marissa gets into a fight with Luke, because everyone is being, like, really classist, obviously. They're like, oh, that kid lives in a trailer park, and Summer says, I bet he does Oxy. I've heard that, like, really fucks you up.
Yeah, she does say that. It's like, you and all your friends are doing drugs at this party. I don't understand how you're judging him for something he doesn't even do because you think he does it. But you're also doing drugs.
Someone is doing coke literally a foot away from you. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you can't, and, you know, it's just, yeah, they're being, like, very, like, he's very stereotypical. I don't know. He does drugs. Like you do drugs, fucker.
Yeah. Oh, but he's poor. He's from Chino. He doesn't have anything. What a fucking loser.
Exactly. Like, they're dicks. So, obviously, this is when she's like, you don't even know him, and storms out.
Yeah.
We love to see it. I mean, she doesn't defend him. She's just like,
no.
She's not like, guys, don't say that's mean. She's like, you guys don't know him. He's different. He's not like those other paws.
Yeah. Fucking literally, though. But she decides to go to the model home to see Ryan one last time, and he has lit some candles for himself. I love that he even has candles, and that he decided to light them. But it's
loads
also
of candles as well.
It's very Chekhov's candles, though. You're like, oh no, I hope something terrible doesn't happen with these candles.
Yeah, in like literally the next scene. There's loads of candles. It's so brightly lit. And he's listening to Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley. and when I know, and when Marissa comes in, she goes, "This song reminds me of you." Which, I think if someone said that to me, I would honestly be a little bit insulted.
Yeah, I think so. They pulled this out in episode 2. The heavy hitter of Hallelujah. They pull out in episode fucking 2. And they use it so dramatically, because it starts out like, when she comes in, it's still like just instrumental. And then she's like, I wanted to see you one last time before you leave. And I kind of wanted to spend the night and hang out, if that's okay. And he's like, I don't know, if you stay the night, I don't think I could leave.
And she's like, then don't leave.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have to. And oh my God, it's so fucking melodramatic. But this scene gave me such energy.
It did.
In life.
Oh, he tells her to leave because he's like, look, I like you a lot, and if you stay, like, I don't know if I can handle that. And she leaves, and she's sobbing, and she's just crying, and then she gets in her car and drives away just crying. And then we see that Luke followed her, and he's just sitting there in his truck watching.
And she's like running out crying, like flailing her arms. It's so dramatic. And then Ryan follows her out and like looks. So obviously Luke can see that Ryan's there.
Yeah.
And he like looks, but he doesn't go to comfort her, and he just walks back in. Oh my God.
Yeah. Because she drives off, so he can't really comfort her that much. And then he goes back.
He can't be like, Marissa, I'm sorry. He just like, he just goes back inside.
And then, okay, so he goes back inside, and then, okay, so now that Luke knows that he's there, he comes into the home with his shitty friends and confronts him and is just like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing with my girl? And he like shoves him into the wall where the candles are, which no one could have seen coming. No one ever would have predicted this.
No. And obviously they fall because they were on just like fucking bits of wood, because everything in there is wood or it's canvas. Yeah. So immediately shit goes up in flames. Mm-hmm. And like they're still fighting. They're still fucking jumping him. They're like kicking the shit out of him while the place is on fire. And one of them is like, guys, we should go, it's on fire. And and that may be my fucking Steve voice, I don't know yet. But they beat him up, and then they go to run, and then Luke is like, I probably shouldn't just like let this kid fucking burn to death. Yeah. So he drags him out and puts him like on the lawn, and then they drive away. Mm-hmm. And it's just so much like in one scene we go from dramatic like declarations of feelings. Yeah. With Jeff Buckley playing, to the house is on fire.
The house is on fire. I sure hope this doesn't mean anything for the amount of money that Kristen has and is able to, use for the various things she does, like giving money to friends. Yeah, starts a fire. It's a very surprised Pikachu face. They drive off. Then we kind of have this little nice moment. This is maybe one of the only nice moments between Julie and Jimmy. Of he's watching ESPN Classic, and she comes over and like sits on the couch with him, and he's like, oh, you watched this game when you were pregnant with Marissa, and he talks about it, and there's just like a kind of nice moment where they actually care about each other.
It's like a nice normal parent scene. Like I've definitely, and then she's like kind of cuddles up with him, and it's like I've definitely like seen my parents, and something's on, and my dad's been like, oh, do you remember when you were pregnant, or like you were a baby and this was blah blah blah, and they'll be reminiscing, and it's cute. It's nice to see.
It's nice.
But then obviously Marissa comes in sobbing. Yeah. So Jimmy's like, I'll go talk to her, and he goes, and he's like, oh. He hugs her and he sort of says, oh, what's wrong? You can tell me anything. We always tell each other everything, don't we? And she's like, do we? And
do we, Daddy?
Camera. Do we, Daddy?
Yeah.
He doesn't find that suspicious at all.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, then we go back to Sandy gets a call about the model home. Because him and Seth are still driving around looking for Ryan. And yeah, he gets a call about the model home and heads there and obviously sees that it's on fire. While Luke just goes back to the party like nothing happened. Like he did not just burn a house down.
Summer is like, she's pretty wasted, but she's like, you smell of smoke. And he's like, oh yeah, we were hotboxing in the car.
Different smell!
Weed does not smell like fire.
No! If it did,
like
that would
weed.
be sick, though. I would love if weed smelled like fire smoke.
That would be kind of cool. But I feel like Summer would probably know that, considering she seems to be a bit of a party girl. Unless, and this is my theory, everyone's giving them shit drugs.
Ooh.
Because they're rich kids.
They
you
are
can just
rich
sell
kids.
them whatever.
Yeah. I feel like Summer, and there is a thing that's going to come up in like 10 episodes that kind of is the same vibe as this. I think she might just pretend to do things that are cooler than she actually does sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is very much it. She's like, oh yeah, I've smoked a weed before.
Yeah.
But so he's like, oh yeah, we were hotboxing in the car. And she's like, and you didn't invite me? Which is a fucking fat mood.
Yeah. True.
But I think then it's kind of just like a small scene, and then we go back to the model home, and like Kirsten's there, Sandy and Seth arrive, and I think then Seth obviously tells him about Ryan because he's worried.
Yeah.
But like, because Ryan's gone. Ryan's not there. He has gone to the road and is hitchhiking.
Yeah.
Which no one finds suspicious, apparently. There's a fucking fire and there's a kid who's got the bruised face hitchhiking along the road. No one thinks that's weird. No one calls the police.
No.
Yeah, and then Luke picks him up.
Yeah, I guess Luke is driving and sees him on the road and then pulls over and is like, we can never tell anybody about this fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then one scene later...
So Ryan says, he's like, right, he gets in and he's like, you'll give me a ride. And I guess we think he's gonna leave, but nuh-uh. He shows up at the Cohens' place and everyone's outside. So obviously Seth told them like Ryan was there and they're all worried. So they go back to the house and the Coopers are there and the Cohens are there and the police are there and everyone's, talking blah, blah, blah. And obviously Sandy and Kirsten like, why would you do that? Do you realize how fucking stupid you are?
Yeah.
And Seth's just making up bullshit. He's like, well, I do want him to go.
It's like, we didn't want him to have to go somewhere terrible, so I put him into just the void where he has nothing, and that was a good idea. And
I put him into a massive safety hazard because I love him.
Exactly.
After knowing him for a few days. So, yeah, everyone's stressed. Marissa is wearing these, like, knee-high Uggs. I was obsessed.
Incredible. Yeah, because everyone's standing outside their houses right now, and Kirsten makes fucking
arms
coffee.
Crossed, looking worried.
Kirsten makes coffee for the fucking cops, and I'm like, taking points off for this one.
Yeah, Sandy's fully ACAB, and she's making coffee for them. Yeah. It doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. It just makes sense.
No, but Luke and Ryan arrive, and Ryan gets out. His face is fucked up as well. He's got like a little cut on it and everything. Mm-hmm. And they're like, obviously everyone goes up to him and they're like, Ryan? And the police arrest him. Basically, he just kind of gives himself up and says that the fire was his fault.
Yeah.
And then Luke is like, oh, it was an accident.
The cops are like, oh, what, were you there? And he's like, yeah, I was there. And then they arrest him too.
Fucking idiot. Because you can tell he didn't plan to, like, also hand himself in.
Yeah, no, he was just like, Ryan, we can never tell anyone about this. And now he's like, I was there. Yeah, it was an accident.
Yeah, I was there. Fucking, he is a Chad. He's a himbo. Well, he's not a himbo because he's not nice
likable.
But
yeah.
No, but he is stupid and has a massive jawline. So, he's getting there.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, they
he literally looks like the meme. You know the meme of like the blonde guy facing left.
Yeah, give that guy in the meme like a puka shell necklace, and he's Luke.
Exactly. And then I don't know. Seth is like the re guy, whatever his name is. But Seth is definitely a meme. Well, I'll figure it out and I'll make an OC meme. For us. So yeah, they get arrested. Sandy goes over to the cops and is like, I'm Ryan's lawyer. Do not speak to him unless I am present. And then when the boys get in the car, he's like, you two, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, he does, and we fucking love it. I love Sandy. That really is the moral of the show, is I fucking love Sandy. And then we get the credits. And that's it. Yeah. That's the episode.
The moral of the story is...
You can't trust the system.
You can't trust the system. Fuck the cops. Don't speak to the cops. Don't speak to the cops, especially without a lawyer present.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, fuck the system. Don't set houses on fire.
Yeah, maybe. So, like, sometimes it's valid to fight people. I think that's true. But I think that maybe when you do that, you should maybe take it outside or do it in a place where there's no candles.
Mm.
That's a good idea.
Also, someone needs to do a lot to deserve getting jumped.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you want to, it's fine to fight. There are reasons where it's valid to fight people. Do it one-on-one unless you have another, like, that's another reason, really, to, like, get them jumped. You need one reason to fight and then another reason to, like, jump them.
Yeah.
Really, jumping should only be reserved for, like, the worst of the worst people.
Yeah.
People who are going to run, So, a lot of morals of the story, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should just hotbox in your car.
I think that really is the ideal thing to do. I mean, I don't want my car to smell like weed.
No.
And I also don't want, like, I would never drive after smoking weed, so I would rather just smoke weed in the parking lot outside of my car.
The way people were driving everywhere after going to these parties is so stressful.
Oh my god, it stresses me out so much. Like, Marissa was fully drinking at the party before she went to go drive to the model home. I don't think you could air this on primetime TV anymore for teenagers.
No.
Like, I don't think they would ever show, like, Jughead getting drunk on Riverdale and then driving home afterwards.
And these houses are so big. Just fucking crash.
Yeah.
Like, just stay on the sofa or, like, and you guys are getting so wasted, I think you can sleep on the floor.
Or just sleep on the beach or something. It's nice out.
Yeah.
Like, literally anywhere.
And it's fucking August. You can sleep outside on the deck or something.
Yeah, and
like,
they all have huge cars. Like, you could also just pop the back of your car open and sleep in the back of it because it's an SUV.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they all have humongous cars. Yeah, again, there's so many reasons just not drive drunk. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say this on air, but the other day, like, so my mum dropped some food over to me, and she also, like, got some medicinal properties, and I had to, like, grind it up for her, but I was, like, sitting in the back of her car with, like, a mask on, the windows down, like, we shouldn't be doing this. And she's like, I'm an old white lady, no one's gonna care. It's like, it's true. It doesn't fucking, it doesn't look suspicious. I mean, it does look suspicious.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look as suspicious.
Yeah.
I have to, like,
fine. If you're just grinding it, it's like,
it's not.
Yeah.
I just throw it over to her. She'll get in less trouble. I'll be like, it's not me. I don't know who this woman is.
This woman's trying to sell me weed.
This old lady's this woman who looks like Kathy Bates is trying to sell me weed. But we were sitting there talking about how shit the police are as well.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Love it.
But so I think my mum's car probably smells of weed at the moment. But she's obviously not smoking and driving, because don't do that either. Just don't
do it.
Don't have anything stronger than a fucking coffee and a cigarette if you're going to be driving.
Yes. Official stance
That's
of the podcast.
The only official stance of the podcast. Don't do any drugs heavier than, like, nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
Do not call a cab.
Literally just do anything else. Walk home. I feel like everyone lives pretty close together in the Orange County, in their neighborhood of all these rich kids. I don't know.
Everyone just drives because they're fucking rich and can have cars. Like, Seth does not have a car even. Which I'm like, he can
Seth
have a car,
doesn't.
but
he could have one. He has a boat instead.
He has a boat, but he also probably feasibly, like, skateboards everywhere. So you're right. It's probably within walking distance. Everyone lives pretty close together. It's also, I'm pretty sure everywhere's like a gated community, so it's not like you're just walking in the street.
It's like a rich person bubble, so it can't be that far. And also, like, I don't think you really need to worry too much about literally anything. Like, I don't know.
No, it's just it just stresses me out. But we have to remember, I feel like we're like those people that get really mad about stuff Tony Stark does, like. They're like, no, he donates to charity. Like, yeah, fictional charity is not fucking real. But then we're sitting here like, well, obviously these kids should not be driving drunk. I mean, I guess it's probably like a bad thing to do because the audience is like teenagers, so we probably shouldn't be promoting this behavior.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue. Yeah, like, I don't have an issue with them, like, drinking because, like, teenagers should, to be honest, they should party and drink and do it safely. But yeah, they're fucking going hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And driving home. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, probably not the best thing to advertise to teens who are the target demographic of this show.
Yeah. But whatever. I don't know. I don't think teens are watching this now. They're watching Riverdale, so they're glamorizing cults or whatever they're doing on that show.
The latest thing they've glamorized is Tea parties. So that was the latest episode. So, teens are just going to start doing that now instead.
Key parties. Are they also doing rainbow parties and, like, other parties that are not real?
I'm sure that eventually they will.
They're going to have shag bands. They're going to have, like, sex bands. And stuff. Like, Archie's going to snap the anal band on Veronica and she'll be like, oh, Archie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what's going to happen. It's a show. It's a show that is on television. Do you want to do our rankings of our top 4 characters this week? Of our core 4?
Our core 4. Yes, I think we should.
Okay.
I guess my bottom's Summer again. Like, she doesn't do anything. She's just kind of, she's just like, I don't know, maybe that's a bit harsh. Maybe I'll put Seth at the bottom because he's stupid. Obviously he does care about Ryan, but instead of doing, I know, like, he's a teenager and teenagers do stupid shit all the time, but, like, if we just had a thought, if we just thought something through for a second, you would have seen the holes in the plan. And also, he doesn't, at any point he could have bailed out, but he doesn't. He's not like, oh, I'll put you in this place for now, and then, like, I'll tell my dad that you are willing to, like, just leave the place, like, instead of going into foster care. Like, it's that serious.
Yeah.
He could have done the responsible thing. He doesn't. And nearly gets Ryan killed. So, at the bottom. But then I think I'll put Summer because she does just, like, drink and smoke weed in a bikini.
That is ideal.
Which, yeah, I would love to be doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marissa, and then Ryan because of punching Luke.
Yeah, punching Luke was really good. God,
and I was gonna say, and also, like, turning himself in and being, realizing when the jig is up.
Yeah. I think my order is very similar. I think I'm also going to put Seth at the bottom, even though I did like that he advocated for Ryan and he lied to the cops. So that was, like, good. That is good for him.
Mm.
But then he was just that completely canceled out by how much of a little bitch he was about Marissa enjoying the same things as him. I was like,
exactly.
You need to grow up. You're a coward, and you should die.
It fully reminded me of, like, when I would talk to, like, guys my age as a teenager, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're a girl. You can't like those things," you know.
Oh, you like the Clash? Name 5 of their clashes. You can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're wearing a Nirvana t-shirt? Are you even a Buddhist? You know?
Yeah, for sure. We saw Seth has a Kurt Cobain poster on his wall, and I was like, you are such a parody of yourself. But anyway,
yeah.
I think then Summer, she didn't do anything. She at least didn't do any like dumping your drunk friend on the grass this week, so that was nice. Then I think I'm actually going to put Ryan second because, so he does punch Luke and he says the line. He says the "do you know what I like about rich kids" line, which I loved. His plans were very stupid. I don't know what he thinks he's doing at this point. Probably nothing. But the reason I'm going to put Marissa first, because I like that she kind of stands up for Ryan a little bit, but I also just love the drama we get with her. I love everything about her, like running out in tears with Hallelujah playing. I love that she made a mix CD for him. I love that she called out Seth for being a whiny little baby and being like, what is your problem?
True.
Yeah, it's kind of just a collective of a bunch of things she does that I'm like, I really enjoyed Marissa this episode.
I think Seth and Marissa, Ryan and Marissa, go. Especially like for this whole season. They're they're great. So I have a feeling our little lineups will probably be this more
really
or less
similar for a while. Yeah, I'm sure at some point Summer will steal the show and be at the top for me, but like not every episode, just every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She is like the comedic heart really of the show, which is great. She's the Samantha.
She is the Samantha of the show, you're right. And Seth is unfortunately the Miranda. Like, I'm so sorry, Miranda. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Marissa's the Carrie because she's a disaster. And Ryan doesn't really fit with Charlotte, but she's the only one left.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, they're both disasters though. But yeah, you're right. Marissa is more of a disaster by a mile.
Yeah.
Love her. So yeah, that's the episode.
That's the episode. So if you want to send us questions, send them to us either on Twitter. We are City Girls Make Do on Twitter, and we are City Girls Make Do on Tumblr. So yeah, send us a DM or an ask on either of those, and we'll answer the question in our next episode. And the other thing is you can donate to us on Patreon. We are patreon.com/CGMD. I think there's a link on our Twitter page and our Tumblr page if you want to find it. And if you donate to us on Patreon, at the very lowest level, at the $1 level, you get access to a bunch of stuff. It's like the episodes of the Mummy Mailbag we've already recorded, the Keanu podcast episodes we have already recorded and are continuing to record. You get access to a secret Discord channel of Looker and Nanu pics. So all of those things for the $1 level. Really recommend all of them, to be honest. I might be a bit biased, but
they are good.
At the $5 level, you can be a cardboard cutout of a baby, and you get all the things from the $1 level, plus we'll read your name on the episode every week, and we'll also, you can submit stuff for Steve Voice. So if you want me to read stuff in Steve Voice, then, I don't know, send it in for me. And at the $10 level, you get all the other stuff, plus you can listen to us record live if you would like to do so. So all our $5 and up donors are Alex Shope, Summer Geist, Jennifer Snyder, Jess Ailachi, Matt Ribeiro, and Siberian Pine Hardwood. So thank you to everyone who's donated and everyone who's listening.
Thank you. We love you. If you feel a little flutter in your cheek, that's us giving you a little virtual peck on the cheek.
Yeah.
I hope you're good. Hope you're well. Thank you for listening. And we're glad you like us.
We're glad you like us. Thank you for tuning into this new podcast. I guess we can plug our stuff because we forgot to do it last week. Maybe you didn't listen to City Girls Make Do, and if you didn't, then you wouldn't have heard us say it like 98 times or 99 times. So if you didn't, then check me out I'm Stephanie. You can find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish. You can also find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island. I don't post there as much, but I am still there. And you can also find me, I guested last week on friend of the show, Max and Jordan. They have a podcast called Slappers Only, where they talk about video game music. And I came on to discuss one of my favorite games of all time, which is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So if you want to hear about that, if you enjoy video game music or The Legend of Zelda, then check that out. And yeah, it's a good podcast otherwise. I've listened to quite a few of the episodes, and I just like video game music, so it's good to me.
Hell yeah. And yeah, I'm Alex, obviously. You can find me on Twitter at Alex the Virgo. I'm not really using Tumblr at the moment, so I'm on Instagram at Alex King Chuck. I think they're both on my Noise Space profile as well.
True.
We have those where you can find other shows we have guested on, and also City Girls Make Do. But yeah, I don't have anything lined up at the moment. Just you know,
just vibing.
Just vibing. I've just been playing a lot of Saints Row.
Hell yeah.
And also like doing uni.
Yeah.
Which has not been fun. But we live and we thrive and we survive.
We do. We survive.
And we podcast, everyone.
Those are the pillars.
Yeah. It's like live, laugh, love podcast.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, thank you for listening once again, and we'll see you next week with episode 3. I'm very excited to see what happens. It's so hard to not just mainline the entire first season right now.
I know. I could really just fucking marathon the first season, but I might do it anyway and then just watch it back again.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen it before, so we'll see. But it's very tempting.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Stay safe. Fuck cops. Huge fuck cops.
Mm-hmm. Oh, huge fuck cops. Always.
Yep. Mohe every day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mohe every day and kiss Candy Square on the lips. So long and good night.
So long. Yeah. I was just about to say that. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
We got more bounce in California than all y'all combined. We got more bounce in California. We like to party all the time. We got more bounce in California where the hustlers all reside. We got more bounce in California. Rolling easy when we ride.
Well, excuse me for a while, but it's time to propagate.